We've done the eBay circuit, the IKEA tour, MFI, you know. We made decisions to buy things, to display things, to arrange things. Nobody's really watching. We're not impressing anyone, you know. We just don't know how to attract interest to us as a couple anymore.
What was frustrating was that we felt we were alone in the struggle. I've not been happy for a while.
I mean, neither of us have, you know. Cheryl always said the last thing she wanted was to be like everyone else. With no money. I don't know what to do, I don't know where to take her.
Our relationship has hit an impasse. Noel Coward said the only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about.
Yeah, I was Oscar Wilde.
It was Noel Coward. I'm pretty sure it was Noel Coward. The point is, I'm bored with the relationship.
It was Oscar Wilde.
As a result, we felt that we needed people to know about our problems.
Which is why we've hired a press conference. Just to ask us some probing questions. You know, just to break up the ennui.
You decided last night to ditch the idea of wallpapering your lounge in favour of buying a big rug. Have you decided on the colour?
Well, I mean, we've decided on a Persian or Oriental style, so, you know, it's going to be multicoloured basically, but we're looking generally earthy colours.
Mrs. Watson, you told your mother that you'd prefer a week in South Wales to a fortnight abroad because of cost. How does Mr. Watson feel, given he's set his sights on Mallorca?
It's not something I've divulged yet, but I'm sure we can reach an agreement. It really did the trick. Suddenly, everyday decisions that only I and Darren took any interest in were being spoken about outside of the household. You know, it was the type of approval that we're all after when we wake up.
Mr. Watson, you have plans to build an extension on your property. Your best friend Alan said only last week, and I quote, "It's the sort of thing couples do over 30 when you're bored and have stopped being creative." Do you feel embarrassed at this proposal?
No, not at all. I mean, it's a practical decision, you know. We both feel the current space is being taken by storage.
But Mr. Watson, your files show this extension is to become a conservatory. It was only 3 years ago that you stated your distaste for conservatories, claiming they were too middle class, your taste.
Well, they were just digging in, you know, just digging, little by little.
Mrs. Watson, is it true you and your husband are set for showdown talks due to your growing resentment for his mismanagement of money?
That's between myself and Darren.
Mr. Watson, you placed £30 on Arsenal only to lose the bet. In hindsight, is this not money you could have used to pay for your rent?
Aye, well, in hindsight, I should have bet on the draw, you know, as neither team had a recognised goal scorer.
But Mr. Watson, Arsenal lost the game.
Yeah, I meant as a handicap. I mean, they weren't selling stories, but they were beginning to act like, well, you know, press.
It's been 6 years since the disappearance of your daughter. Are you remaining hopeful?
I think you've got the wrong press conference made.
The two of you have been recently sleeping in separate beds, yet outside your house, the two of you present yourself as the perfect couple. Is it a status thing?
No, not at all. Darren has a problem with snoring, so I sleep in the spare room.
And you're happy to be the one consigned to the single bed?
Yes.
I put out an official request to respect our privacy, which they adhered to.
You've purchased the best of Bon Jovi on CD. How are you both enjoying it?
Yeah, we played it in the car non-stop.
Yeah, it's been a snipper £2 as well. But not for long.
I think it was clear they were trying to cause tension between me and Darren. You know, here we are today.
Mr. Watson, are you growing tired of Mrs. Watson's habits? Like when she puts an S at the end of supermarket names like Tesco's, when in fact it's Tesco?
Look, it's not just pluralising. She puts imaginary words in. Like home and bargains, you know. It's home bargains. And she insists she's right. And she refuses to accept when she's wrong, even when it's a fact. I'm sorry.
Well, Mr. Watson, you leave the top of the toothpaste, you take the cereal out of the box with your hand, and you're the only one allowed to fart on the sofa. Aren't these more severe bad habits?
Yeah, sure, but when Mrs. Watson gets a job, Mrs. Watson can be inconsiderate like other working people.
Has the exercise been useful at all?
No.
Yeah.
I think it's highlighted problems that were being swept under the carpet. The money that Darren spent on Betfred Poker could have gone on the garden.
But, you know, you're always spending money on washing up stuff, you know?
See? This is what I get.
Is it true you voted UKIP? Mr. Watson, why won't you have a baby? I've only let him watch the Grand Prix.